You know, a lot of people forget how important learning in communities is in real life and face to face learning, and think or ignore or don't remember that that is a great component to make your online learning programs work really well. So I think back at a couple of times in my life when learning in community made a lot of sense. Back when I was in grad school, I was in a brutal computer science program. And I know that one of the reasons I did as well as I did is I had a really good study group. There was a group of 5 of us that would get together, not all the times, but frequently enough, especially when we were preparing for finals, when we were doing big projects. And what would happen is you have different types of people. And some people are more book oriented, they know how to dig into something and learn it really well. Other people are really good at talking out loud, bouncing ideas, using each other as a sounding board. And we had this one guy who we called our, what if guy. He was ready to poke holes in any idea, whether it was good or bad. He was just really questioning. It could be really annoying. But together, the dynamic made the learning for all of us so much better than if we were sitting here like in our dorm room or in a study hall by ourselves trying to cram. Another time is later in life, it was actually the beginning of this business. I was part of a mastermind, and the mastermind was one where we met in person once, like once every 3 or 4 months. We'd keep in touch via email, and they were teaching us online marketing tactics, online marketing strategies. And I had a group of people that, all of us were business owners. We were all learning online marketing automation, things like that. And the feedback I got from other people in the group and from the instructors was priceless, to the point where I was part of this group for like 3 years. And I stayed in the program the last year and a half, mainly because of the people, because I developed really tight relationships with other people. The other people knew my business. They were people that I could use as a sounding board, and it wasn't like I had to explain the whole thing to them from the beginning, because we got to know each other. They got to see my weaknesses and how I could better how I was learning, how I was applying what I was learning to my business in ways that I would never have seen by myself. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because some people come up, they take on something like LearnDash. They built this online course, and they fail to realize that the people that are taking these programs are going to be learning by themselves. They're going to be at the computer. Maybe it's going to be late at night, during the day, depending on, but they're going to be alone. And learning alone is a very difficult way to learn. Now, if you can come up and complement your learning program with something even as simple as a Facebook group, where everybody going through the program is in that Facebook group, and people make themselves available to answer questions. You can ask questions. You can go back through the history of conversations where someone maybe 2 months ago answered the question for someone else. That can be very powerful because it gets people out of their own learning space, and they can find out things like, oh, I'm not the only one that had a difficult time with this lesson. Or look at here, I hadn't even thought of this question to ask, and look at the answers that this person got when they asked them. So by organizing your course into some sort of a learning community, you really step up the value of the learning for the people in your program. Now, I mentioned Facebook groups, but another great option is BuddyBoss. BuddyBoss is a theme and a series of systems that are added to WordPress that enables you to add forums, to add threaded discussions very similar to a Facebook group, and even messaging and emailing functions so that people within your learning program can talk to other people in there. And what I found with some of the systems we've bought is the owner of the site was able to save time doing customer support because other people in the group would jump in and answer questions for people. So in every learning community, in every group, you always have those standouts, people that are like, just very out there, and they would go out of their way to answer questions, to maybe even point out to the owner of the course, hey, someone here's having trouble. And so these people can be used as that sort of resource. So I'm pointing that out, that old-fashioned kind of communities work really well online, and there are plenty of tools and platforms that you can make use of so that your courses get that additional benefit. Cheers.